Hi, welcome to density based spatial clustering for applications with noise. The DBSCAN is separating high density clusters from low density ones. For example, the data set may have n number of data points in it, so each one will be considered as a single cluster initially. So now we are going to make this into high density based clusters. So each cluster may have n number of data points. So we are increasing the low density data into high density data using DBSCAN clustering. Initially, we will select the random point from the given data set which is not explored already, which is marked as a not visited. Then using the epsilon value, we can find the neighborhood of this data point, that is the radius of this radius of the clusters. So here in this example we are taking, this is the data point selected initially, then we are using the epsilon distance for finding the neighbors. Based upon the epsilon distance, it is having three neighbors, 1 2 3. So here we have to initialize minimum number of points for clustering purpose. You can give 3. So here, if the selected random data point containing the neighborhoods with count greater or equal to the minimum number of data points criteria, then the data point is noted as a core point. Here in this example, we have given minimum number of data points are 3. Here in this epsilon distance, this particular data point is having the equal to the minimum number of data points. So 1, this is 2, this is 3. So this data point is having 4 data points including the core data, including the selected data point. If the data point is having greater than or equal to minimum number of points, then that selected data point, so that selected data point is called core point as per the DBSCAN method. So this data point is called core point in this particular cluster. This clustering process will start and the point is marked as a visited. Now the this core point is marked as a visited, right? If it is not belonging to any cluster, then that point will be labeled as a nice data. So we have to do for all the data points within the neighborhood of this core point as a marked as the part of the cluster. That means here we have the data point 1, data point 2 and data point 3. For all the 3 data points, we have to mark as this all data points are visited, right? Then we have to repeat this step 2 for all the epsilon neighborhood points. So here, whenever you are finding the unvisited data point, then you have to apply that above procedure. Either the new data point to be included inside the cluster, or we have to mark it as a noise. So for you see, again we are searching the next neighborhood data point using the epsilon distance. So here for when you are increasing the number of iterations, three epsilon values have been used. So this is one epsilon value, this is another epsilon value, this is another epsilon value. So based upon that, these clusters are formed, the circles, not a clusters, the circles has been formed. Based upon this data point is not available in any of the circles, so this data point is called outlier. And one more thing, here in this case the border points are within the core point. So here this is called border point. The border point is available within the core point epsilon distance, so the distance is epsilon, but it is not having minimum number of points in this own. So here you look at this is not having minimum number of points, so it is not having the it is not for assumed as a clustered data point. So this is assumed as a border point. So now the data which is not belonging to as a core point or border point, right, then that kind of data points are called outliers. right? So if any data point which is not a border point, the green color is the border point, so if it is border point, then that belongs to this cluster. Okay, this cluster, and this one is also belong to this cluster, but this yellow color data point is not belonging to either border point or core point, so it is called as a outlier. So this is the way to perform the clustering by using DBSCAN clustering approach. Thanks for watching.